My name is Nicholas Radio. I'm the Global Product Manager for the High Content Screening Technologies Group at Thermo Fisher Scientific. Today, I'm delighted to present Democratizing High Content Screening Multi-Parameter Applications with the new CX7 Pro series. This talk is going to focus on multi-parameter applications, including FirePlex, which is an immunoassay, and cell painting. So as way of an introduction, I'm very proud about the history that we have within the high content screening technology. So the legacy Cellomics group that we come from literally invented, patented, and coined the term high content screening. This was done out of Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh back in the late 1990s. The term high content screening, that was termed because the original adopters were the pharmaceutical industry that were looking for more contextual information than what could be gleaned from a plate reader or flipper assay. As a former FAS, this is another proud Papa moment. We've developed the most comprehensive field service applications and engineering support team within the globe, including core expertise in cellular biology. So there's really not an assay within the life sciences space that we're not able to develop a high content screening assay for. And as far as a productivity message, the scientists that choose our platform have been incredibly productive. There's over 2,000 publications, and a lot of them are in top-notch journals, including Nature, Science, etc. So it's my extreme pleasure to introduce to the community the new CellInsight CX7 Pro series. This instrument we literally just launched. There was a laser version that we launched sometime in the early spring, and the LED-based system we literally just launched last month. So why we are really excited about this is that it does feature a best-in-class back illuminated scientific CMOS camera. It provides quantum efficiencies of up to 95%. And the reason why that's important is that we are continuing to reinforce the time to data benefit that the CellInsight platform and the ArrayScan before that has become synonymous with. As the scientific CMOS camera and the quantum efficiencies of up to 95%, that allows us to detect fluorophores with the highest sensitivity in the industry. And that results in lower exposure times, which results in faster overall scan times. In addition to the publication quality imaging that the new camera provides, we've also validated the best Olympus objectives that are available on the market. This is the new X-Line system. It has been completely validated for all functionalities within the CX7, including both laser autofocus and software autofocus. And collectively, with the new technology, this has allowed us to usher in new applications, including the FirePlex immunoassay and the cell painting assay on the platform directly within our HCS Studio software. All right, so the first assay that I'm going to highlight, this is a new multi-parameter immunoassay that a lot of our customers, especially in the pharmaceutical industry, are interested in. This is an assay that allows for both time benefits and scale benefits for people that have conventionally done immunoassays off of ELISAs. There is a new high throughput version of the FirePlex assay, which is essentially a no wash application, and it can be conducted in both 96 and 384 well formats for people that need higher throughput capacity. So this is showing our first attempt to validate the CX7, our legacy CX7 instrument with the FirePlex. And what you're looking at, this is a 10-point standard curve where we should be seeing within the replicates reproducibility inside of the circle. And the tighter that scatter, the better. So unfortunately, with our legacy CX7, our first generation platform that featured a CCD camera, we were not able to validate the assay despite best efforts. There was just too much variation within these standards, and as a result, we were not enabled to introduce it to our customers. Now, fast forward to the new introduction of the CX7 Pro. So here, not only are we meeting the requirements, we're actually exceeding the requirements. So you can see the much tighter scatter. This is also can be done in either a 16-bit mode, which is the full camera depth, or we can do a 15-bit, which would allow for reduced exposure times and faster scan. So this is something that kind of demonstrated the value of the improved imaging technology that we have in the new Pro platform. An assay that is coming on extremely strong, especially for people that are in drug discovery or drug safety, is the new cell painting assay. So one of the things that we're really trying to do is make high content as approachable, addressable, turnkey as possible, so that you don't have to be a computational scientist expert to figure out how to tune an algorithm. So along those lines, here within the HCS Studio main dashboard, when you log in, you'll see a cell painting application. This is our validated protocol for the gold standard U2OS cells, as originally described by Ian Carpenter and company at the Broad Institute. So that application has been designed for the cell painting imaging and the analysis. So again, we're doing both things simultaneously so that as we're scanning, we're also generating the data in real time. In addition, in trying to democratize this technology, we also introduced earlier this year a new Invitrogen Image It cell painting kit. So this would enable everything that is necessary on the reagent labeling side to make cell painting addressable with the CX7 Pro platform. So either the LED Pro or the Laser Pro, we have validated the cell painting assay off of. And with the Invitrogen Image It labeling kit, we're able to make the assay as turnkey as possible, from start to finish, labeling through screening with the data. So here I just want to share, this is an actual 96 well scan in U2OS cells off of the CX7 Pro platform. This was actually done using the Image It kits. So here, this is just a highlight of a well that was run. And then where the CX7 is going to shine is that here below, you can see this is the multi-parameter applications going everywhere from the nucleus to the mitochondria in our Tritsy red channel. With that, you can see the mask overlays showing the analysis that's being done simultaneously. So, this is fairly important. We do not require anything offline in order to not just take beautiful cell painting images, but also quantify those images to translate the image into data that is actionable. So that last mode was a plate level mode of a 96 well scan. One of the things that I love about the CX7 and the HCS Studio software, we can show you at the cell level the corresponding cell level cutouts of every one of those cells that were scanned, in this case in the 96 well plate. So from a quality control standpoint, you're really able to understand what the data off of the scatter plot is showing you. So in this case, you can see these cells are showing a toxic response off of our endoplasmic reticulum marker. So we see an increase in the amount of ER stress. You also see just a general reduction in the cell body area So collectively, these would be cells that would be flagged as a toxic response. Conversely, these cells in the middle, these are what we're showing as healthy cells within the scan that was done. And then finally over here on the right, if you can read this, this is showing the cell body area. So these cells are cells that are showing some level of hypertrophy, an increase in cell mass due to the conditions that they were exposed to. And you can do this across a plate, looking at multiple wells. You could compare the phenotype of a negative control well to a positive control well or a unknown that you're unfamiliar with, generate the scatter plots in both wells or multiple wells, and see what the underlying cellular phenotype looks like. So with the cell painting application under wraps, I'd like to turn my attention to the 3D modeling because as a former scientist at the EPA, I think it's really important that we continue to improve the cell models that we are doing our drug discovery and drug safety work on to improve the predictability and how it's going to relate to translational outcomes, safety outcomes, in the names of making it more accurate and hopefully reducing the reliance on animal testing to generate similar data. So this is results of Eureka Scan. Eureka Scan Finder, it was an optional thing that we offered on the legacy CX7 platform. With the introduction of the CellInsight CX7 Pro, we have now made it standard. So all CX7 Pros from the factory will come with our Eureka Scan Finder application. And what this is it's a seek and find double pass functionality. And what I mean by that is you can leverage a relatively low magnification objective, such as a 4x, as we're showing here. It's compatible with either fluorescent light or bright field light. In this case, we're actually showing both. So here you can see the nuclear counterstain to the spheroids. This is just the transmitted image of the spheroid. The functionality here is that using the low mag, we're able to identify the XYZ coordinates of where the spheroid is present. And then those coordinates are then passed for a higher magnification scan. So in this case, this is a 20x confocal scan of a 3-color spheroid marker. So where this becomes a benefit is that if you want to do a higher magnification scan that would require multiple fields within a well at 20x and above magnifications, now with the Eureka scan, we can identify where the spheroid's at and then only go to those fields where the spheroid was detected. And it's important to note here that not only the XY coordinate, but also the Z is passed. That Z position is where we begin our autofocusing within the higher scan. All right, and then just trying to quantify the benefits. So this is kind of life before Eureka Scan when we didn't have the double pass functionality. And essentially what would happen is if you required higher magnification scans, we would have to evaluate a number of fields, the majority of them empty. And with that, it takes a little over 28 minutes to run the scan. With Eureka Scan, with the low magnification applied first, we can find it and then go only to those wells that have the spheroid present in them. And you can see it cuts it down to just under 2 minutes. So a savings of a little greater than 14-fold. And then also, because we're not taking as many images, only the ones that actually have your biological specimen present in it, we're also reducing the file size, the imaging file size. So 2.8 gigabytes down to 187 megabytes, a savings of about 15-fold. So we have seen through our customers that most people are using Eureka Scan Finder for spheroid applications. It's, I think, important to note that you can do this not only for spheroids, but you can use it for tissue, rare events, really anything that you are wanting to identify at low mag and then get higher resolution or a confocal imaging at likely a higher magnification. So some of the things that are unique about Eureka Scan Finder is that it is compatible with both modes of focusing on the CX7, so our software-based or our laser autofocus. So this is really good for spheroid applications, also tissue applications where, usually in tissue on a large cover slip, again, there's many areas where there's nothing on them. We can just use the laser autofocus to find exactly where the tissue is at and then quickly go through. Eureka Scan Finder is applicable for conventional flat bottom plates. We also have had customers use it in the Inspiro plates, in our U-bottom plates with NUNC. So that would be another benefit. We've also had people use it in things like the microtrap plates that people are using now for chemotaxis assays. So it's very adaptable. The other part about it, which is really unique across the industry, is that Eureka Scan Finder, it's not just a simple double pass function. We can apply Eureka Scan Finder to any bio application within HCS Studio. And why that's important is that, say you are looking at neurons and you only want to look at neurons that are differentiated. They have 3 neurites coming off of the soma and they have a total neurite length of 100 microns. So with the Eureka Scan Finder functionality, you could use the low magnification to find that neuronal phenotype using our neuronal profiling bio app, and then do a second pass for that higher magnification scan. So, we talk a lot about spheroids, but it really can be applied to any biological phenotype, since it can be applied to any one of our bio applications within Studio. And then finally, we can do up to 3 different passes within Eureka Scan. So here, this is just showing a 4x bright field image on a spheroid. We can increase that to 10x to show a spheroid level plane. And then if you want to get intracellular detail within the spheroid, we could increase that further if an organelle level measurement was needed. So we talked about cell painting in 3D. People are already doing it, and I think that we're going to see more adoption here as we get into 2023. So that is another way of applying Eureka Scan Finder, using that cell painting bio application for increasing level detail within 3D. So one of the biggest benefits that customers have reported back who had our legacy CX7 and now have upgraded to the Pro, it's really the time to data. And you can see that this is looking at a spheroid scan that we did. This was using 4 different colors plus laser autofocus in the near IR channel. And using that 5-channel configuration, you can see our 96 well wide field times, and this is with analysis conducted. It's 2 minutes, 57 seconds, which that's at least a 50% improvement relative to what we would have previously been doing in a confocal screen, in a spheroid screen. And then the benefit with confocal screening is even further improved. We can do the same assay using our NIPCal spinning disc confocal 70 micron pinhole, and we can do that in under 5 minutes, which with the older CCD camera technology and without using the Exelon objectives, it would have taken us at least 15 to 20 minutes to do the same 96 well scan. So fairly significant improvement in throughput. And as we had validated the focusing, both for software and laser autofocus on the new Exelon objectives, we can consistently do, in this case, this is an entire 3D4 well screen that you're seeing of spheroids that were done using the new CX7 Laser Pro platform. And then one area that I am and continue to be really excited about is our ability to quantify these really cool 3D image sets. So what you're looking at here, this is an IPS differentiated neuron that we are applying our Amira 3D software that comes over from our colleagues at FEI. And you can see that Amira is able to quantify not just the neuronal mass, but it's also able to quantify all the individual neurites within 3 dimensions. So the accuracy of the neurite tracing, especially in cases where you've got neurites crossing under one another, if you just collapse this down into a 2D plane, it's impossible to trace back which neurite belonged to which. With Amira, since we're doing true Z-slice quantifications, you can now trace those measurements directly within the 3D plane. And that's the reason why that's important, is that it will allow us for better accuracy in looking at total neurite length measurements in these developing 3D models. Neurite outgrowth is one of the most sensitive biomarkers of neuronal development. It is a hallmark of the functional health of a neuron, both used in drug discovery and drug safety. So the fact that we can now do this using the CX7 Laser Pro and the Amira 3D software, it has the ability to really accelerate what we can do on the research side. All right, that's my bell. I think we're just about time. So the last thing that I wanted to highlight is ACS 101. This is a class that we had offered prior to the pandemic on an annual basis. Coming out of the COVID-19 shutdown, I'm really happy to be announcing that we're bringing it back. We will have 4 different classes this fall in the US, everywhere from Pittsburgh, which is where a lot of the Slums crew is still based, all the way into Carlsbad, Burlington, which is outside of Toronto, and Waltham, Boston area. So if you're interested in any of those classes, please let us know, and we'd be happy to provide you more detail. We are planning on doing one of these classes next year in Europe as well. And with that, I just want to sincerely thank you. Every day we get up to try to figure out how to make our technology as good as it can be, with the sincere hope that is going to have an impact on the research, the amazing research that you're doing. So we sincerely appreciate you, and anything that we can do to help you with high content screening, we sincerely will try to do our best. Thank you very much.